Park Bench. I am here today with Pat VanBeveren from Empower Parkinson's. Pat runs the Rocksteady Boxing and other fitness programs for individuals with Parkinson's disease. So I'm super interested to hear what he has to say, and I'm guessing you are too. So we're going to get right to it. Hi, Pat.
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for being here.
Thanks
Say
for
hi to
having
everybody.
me. Good morning. How are you?
Tell our audience a little bit about the program here and what you do.
Okay, so we started about 5 years ago. We had a program that was for people with Parkinson's, but it was one-on-one physical therapy. And we had no way to follow people up when we were looking for that. And we came upon a program that was out in Indianapolis. It was called Rocksteady Boxing. And they enjoyed a huge amount of success. So I went out there and trained, and within a month came back and started a program here in Syracuse. And as they say, the rest is kind of history. It's been 5 years. We've grown from 10 people to well over 100 people now. And at one point, we applied for a grant from the Parkinson Foundation, and we increased our offerings to include dance, yoga, chorus, tai chi, support groups, anything that was in the literature that said was helpful for people with Parkinson's. So all our clients, this is exclusively for people with Parkinson's. And, you know, we had the realization that everyone didn't want a box. So we offered these other programs, and we have several people in each of those programs. We, like everyone else, got bogged down by the pandemic, and we're just bouncing back from that now. But we're continuing to be successful, unfortunately. There's probably over 3,000 people in central New York who have Parkinson's disease. So even though we have 130 or 40 people in our program, we still are seeing a small percentage of the people who have Parkinson's.
What can anyone who watches this video, what can our audience of Liverpool, North Syracuse do to help let people with Parkinson's know that you're
That's
here?
Spread the word. That is the hardest thing, because there's no congregate place for people with Parkinson's. We can't go to a meeting of people who all have Parkinson's, or there's not a single doc. So it really is spreading the words. Let anybody and everybody you know, there's this program in Liverpool that caters to people with Parkinson's and does whatever the literature says is helpful for them.
Tell everybody a little bit about the progress you've seen in some of your people that come and work out with you.
It is pretty remarkable. Some of you folks may have remembered the initial program on 60 Minutes where Leslie Stahl's husband, who had Parkinson's and did the Rocksteady program, got dramatically better. And so she said, we can't keep this our secret. You know, we have to tell people. And they did a show on 60 Minutes, where I actually saw that program, and I was pretty impressed. And when I went out to Indianapolis, I've been a physical therapist now for 50 years. When I went out and saw what they were doing, I was really astounded. I said, they have it exactly right. There's two or three criteria for effective exercise for people with Parkinson's: intensity, specificity, and novelty. And our program of boxing fits all of those. It's intense because we yell at them, we push them to do it. It's specific, it addresses everything that they're losing: flexibility, strength, power, agility, hand-eye coordination, balance, all the things that Parkinson's trying to take away from us. And clearly it's novel. It's not a normal motor response to be ducking and slipping and keep your feet in a certain position. So it meets all of those criteria to be effective to help those people with Parkinson's.
Right. Now, this program is near and dear to me because I'm here with you quite often. But so some of the things I've noticed, and I want you to tell our viewers, is not only all of that, which is wonderful, but the social component.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that, because that's amazing.
The social component is probably as big. I get choked up about this sometimes, so you'll have to excuse me. The social component oftentimes is as big as the physical component. People who have Parkinson's become very isolated, and they become depressed. It's a neurodegenerative disease, which means you're getting worse every day. There's no good medication out there, and a lot of the medications give you bad side effects as time goes on. So if you go to your doctors and he tells you you have this, and all you perceive is you're going to get worse, and you go home and you're alone and you're isolated, it's depressing. When you come into our group and you see other people with it, and you see how well they're doing, and you kind of say, if they can do it, I can do it. And then, you talk about it. Often, you don't know anybody else. I had a lady in the other day, she said, this is the first time I've seen any other person who has Parkinson's. And you see people, you see them laugh. If you have this diagnosis, you don't laugh much. It's a tough disease. So when they laugh during our program, I consider that a successful day.
Yeah, so do I. If someone has Parkinson's and they're going through a lot of the things you're saying, depression and isolation, and maybe they've heard of this program and they're curious, but they're tentative, they're afraid,
Yeah.
Tell them what happens when they come in. Tell them what happens.
Well, we scale the exercise program to every single level. If the person is in a wheelchair, if they're on a walker, if they're in a cane, we can scale the exercise program to them. We have a great cadre of volunteers. We probably have 25 volunteers here that'll stay right with you when you first come in and tell you what's going on, so you get used to being here and doing what we're doing. So, I tell everybody, just the first time, just come in and watch, and we'll talk about it. And then if you're interested, the next time you come in, we'll have you actually go to work boxing or engaging in one of the other programs that we do.
That's great for people to know. So when they come in, they can observe. They don't have to jump in. They can come in, they can talk to people, they can watch and see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's great for people to know.
I know if I can get some person in the door, they'll be back.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
How can people get in touch with you? How can they reach you?
315-729-7178, or by email empowerparkinson, no S, @gmail.com.
I'll put that up too so people can read it. Anything else you want people to know? What about the breakfast?
Yeah, because it is our 5th anniversary, who would have ever known we would make it this far? So we want to have a blowout celebration. So all of you who are watching, we'd like you to join us. It's June 9th, 8 to 10 in the morning. You might have to get up a little early, but it'll be a good breakfast. We have a keynote speaker who's nationally known. He's also an author. He had young onset Parkinson's, age 46. He went on to win the Amazing Race in Canada. It's really an inspiring story. He did it with his son. So he is our keynote speaker, and he'll be followed up by a couple of local speakers. We're really looking at just have a real celebration and an inspirational day.
That sounds great. And will it cost them anything?
Doesn't cost anything. So we're sponsoring the breakfast, and we'd love to have you, anybody in your family, friends. All you have to do is go to empowerparkinson, again, no S, .org. And there's a button that'll take you to Eventbrite where you can register.
Do they need anyone who's interested in coming to this free breakfast and learning a little bit more about what you do and who you are and what this group does? Do they need exposure to Parkinson's? Do they need to have Parkinson's? Do they know someone that has Parkinson's?
We want to spread the word. So we want as many people out there as knowledgeable as they can be. So when they hear about someone, a neighbor, a friend, my sister's mother-in-law's father, has Parkinson's, we want them to be able to say, there's this program in Liverpool. That is our goal, is really to showcase our services so that people get channeled here. The worst thing I ever hear is, I wish I knew about you guys 5 years ago.
Yes.
That kills me.
Yeah. Anything else you want to tell our viewers? I really appreciate this time you're giving us.
Thanks for listening. I hope to meet you at the breakfast.
1, 2, 3.
Group.